Ladies and gentlemen, please take your seats. The show is about to begin.
Hey everyone, welcome to tonight's show. Glad everyone can join us tonight. I see some new people in the chat, so welcome aboard Twin Flicks with this live show. And tonight I have a guest, a friend of the channel on, Steven from Otsmovies, Off the Shelf Movies. He's going to join me tonight, and why? Because we both received a special package today that he's already opened, I believe, on his TikTok channel, but I have yet to open it. I'm saving it for tonight. I also have a couple other things to show off, and also Dark Sky ended up surprising me and sending me two other giveaways for their Texas Chainsaw Massacre 4K UHD that will be given away later on in the show. So glad you can make it here, Steven, tonight.
I'm excited to be here. I've been looking forward to this particular release for months.
Yeah. Now, did they push the date back on this one?
Yeah, they did push it back a little bit. It was supposed to come out closer to the Dark Sky release, and then I don't remember. I think it was some kind of replication thing or something like that that just delayed them an extra couple of months.
Okay. Yeah, I think they said a printing error or something that they
Yeah, it
found.
was something like that.
Yeah, and that same thing happened to Martin as well. Because Martin was supposed to come out, I think, late January or February, and they had to push Martin as well. Yeah, so let's just get to it. I'm going to go ahead and open up my box here. I'm going to go full screen on this.
Did you get it from Diabolic?
I did. I got it. Yeah, order from them. They were the best place to order it, really.
Agree, because I got two, one for me and one for a friend, and it was $5 shipping. So.
Oh, nice. Yeah. And Second Sight no longer ships to the States, so.
Well, you know what's funny is I initially tried to order it from them, and they were going to ship it to me, but they were going to charge me an astronomical ship, like $100 and something to ship. And I'm like, well, this is how you're doing it then. Okay.
Really?
Yeah, that's
wow.
crazy.
Yeah, all right, guys. So if I can open this now. So what I really love about Diabolic is how secure they package their stuff. It always comes in bubble wrap, always secure. They don't just half-ass it by throwing a movie in a box and hoping that it stays undamaged. So I'm going to zoom in a little bit here. So here is the box set here. And you've got yours there too as well. All right, so let me ask you a question while I'm opening this up. What was your first experience seeing Texas Chainsaw Massacre?
Oh, my first experience, I feel like I've had a couple of first experiences with Texas Chainsaw. My first one was as a kid on cable TV. I got exposed to a lot of horror movies at too young an age because my grandparents had satellite TV and didn't monitor me well when I would stay with them, and I always found all kinds of great horror movies. And yeah, it was definitely on cable. And then later, on home video, on DVD. But then my second real experience with it was I saw it and I've seen it a couple more times since then. But my art house theater occasionally will get a 35 mil print and run it.
Oh, nice.
And that happened the first time for me in college, and it just changed the movie completely for me.
Oh, I can imagine watching on a satellite TV and then experience it in a theater. I've never experienced it in a theater. Kind of similar, but a little bit different. Simon and I, we were exposed to a lot of different horror movies. Again, way too young. This, though, we lived up in Washington State, and their local Fox channel, which was Channel 49 at the time, after midnight, it was kind of like free reign, and they would show stuff like Hellraiser, From Beyond, Texas Chainsaw Massacre, all this good stuff uncut. And they were trying to be like the network HBO. And it didn't last very long, though. I think the censors got them. But that's really how we were exposed to these some of these great horror films. Real quick here, Brent Madison says, "What's up with Savvy UK and Second Sight not shipping to the US?" I think Savvy is starting to ship to the US again. I've heard.
So I think the thing with Zavvi is they just don't want you going to the UK page. They have a Zavvi.us they would prefer you to use. I feel like it's the same with Arrow, but I haven't heard that Arrow's not shipping from there. I've been ordering from them. I ordered some stuff not long ago, and it shipped to me.
Yeah. I haven't heard Arrow having a problem with that. Second Sight, I don't know. Like Steven said earlier in this broadcast that he tried to order it, but their shipping costs were so astronomical it wasn't worth it. So that might be why too. This shipping costs is just more than what they can feasibly do. So that could be the reason. But yeah, I'm hearing that Zavvi is starting to ship to the States again. Just go to their US website. It'd probably be easier. Let's see here. Brent Madsen says the 3-hour cut of Martin was purchased at an auction, but Second Sight couldn't come to an agreement to get it. Apparently not sure what happened. Yeah. I actually did a review of Martin, and I dove into that a little bit. And yeah, they tried to get the rights to the 3-hour cut, but they weren't able to secure the rights to it. But yeah, there's more into it than that. So if you want, go check out my Martin review. I dive a lot into that. Let's see here. All right, let's open this up here. So we've got the J card here, and this comes with a lot of just a lot of special supplemental material. And I believe, if I'm not, do you have the Dark Sky release?
I do.
Okay, I believe that everything, all the supplemental material is the same except for a documentary might be.
There's one extra documentary that Second Sight has. Everything else is the same.
Okay, all right. Yeah. And was there a commentary too that was just exclusive to Second Sight? I've got the disc here. I can look.
There might be. I don't remember seeing it. I just remember noticing the documentary was different.
Okay, yeah. So there's a new audio commentary that's exclusive to Second Sight as well, by Amanda Reyes and Bill Ackerman. I guess they're film historians.
I thought that one was on both. It's not? Well, that's...
Yeah, I'm looking on the back.
To me, is important.
Yeah, I'm looking on the back. On the Dark Sky one, it's just Toby Hooper, the actor, writer, and cinematographer. It looks like on the Dark Sky one. So yeah, let's open this up. So look at that. I love the artwork that Second Sight does on these exclusives.
I will tell you one thing. This tray, they love that tray because it's the same as what they kind of did with Dawn of the Dead. But I'll tell you what happened to mine already is from opening it to shoot the video is it has a little tiny scuff. I don't know if you can even see it in the video,
no.
But yeah, it's like just happened after cracking it open. So that's the most delicate part of this box set.
Oh wow, yeah.
But I agree with you. This artwork and the way it wraps around is so cool.
Yeah, I mean, just look at that artwork. I love it. The red, and then you have the 3 discs. You have 3 discs, so you have one UHD disc and 2 Blu-ray discs. One is the movie, and then there's a dedicated special features disc. And this is the best part of this exclusive set is this book. This book that comes with it. I haven't looked at this yet, so I'm kind of seeing this all for the first time.
This book is 190 pages.
190. Okay, Martin I think was 180, so 10 more pages. Man, look at it. I love the artwork in the book as well.
And this is not your typical book. This is a hardback book. This is a very nice book. I love it.
Yeah, because let me see here. Let me show the difference here because Martin, like I said, was 180 pages, I believe. And look at the differences. So that's Martin, where it's more of a, I don't know what you would call this, but this is a hardback book, and this is a softback book.
Yeah.
It makes, so it's just, stuff like this is just so extra special for physical media. That you would, go ahead.
I was just going to say real quick, there's a conversation over on my page about the Vinegar Syndrome TCM2, I guess as a companion. We'll talk about that in a minute when we talk about more new pickup type of stuff.
Okay. Now let me ask you this. I know about Texas Chainsaw 2, but I've heard people also consider Texas Chainsaw Massacre a dark comedy.
Yes. Yes.
Okay. Yeah, you agree with that? Okay. So
100%.
Yeah, see, I've watched this since I was 13 years old, and I've never picked up on that humor until recently when I rewatched The Dark Sky release. And then I finally was like, after I heard people talk about it, that it's a dark comedy, I watched it again. I'm like, then I started really picking up on the little bits of humor in it. Grandpa, I mean.
Mm-hmm. Well, to me, that's kind of what makes that that sequence, the dinner sequence, so disturbing, is because it's so uncomfortable to me, because it's very twisted, it's visceral, and it's like production design with the props, and everybody's so sweaty and gross looking, and then Grandpa can't even keep the hammer in his hand long enough to bonk her in the head.
Yeah.
It's awkwardly funny, and the more you find it funny, the more disturbing it kind of is. It's just a really weird dynamic that I think only Tobe Hooper could have done.
Yeah, and he did the same with Texas Chainsaw 2, but put the pedal to the metal with that one. I mean, he went full blown.
And people hate it for that. And I don't. I really don't. I feel like it's one of those things where he, as an artist, realized this was a convergence of a lot of different things that made that first movie so special that just couldn't be replicated. And
exactly.
I also think he's kind of a salty guy, or was a salty guy, and I think he always had a problem with the fact that people didn't see the humor in the first one. So he amped it up to 20 in the second one, and it really works for me.
It completely works. And then again, that kind of goes back to how he originally wanted Texas Chainsaw Massacre to be PG, because that's how he thought about it. Was this is a dark comedy. These are some art cards, guys. These are pretty.
So I'm a little like the art cards. There's such a missed opportunity with the art cards, in that they're what they always do, and that's not just Second Sight. They all do this. It's usually just these are kind of more art pieces, I guess, a little bit. They're character cards. A lot of times it's just stills from the movie, and ultimately, what I would love in these cards, and no one is doing it. Here it is. I'm giving it away free. Is they should take all the international posters and make those art cards. I would love to look at the Japanese poster, the poster that was released. If we had the poster that was released in the UK, people would be less confused about the artwork that's on the box, because
I was going to bring that up in a second. Yeah. I mean, I 100% agree with you on that. And Arrow or Synapse has done that a couple times. I think they did it on the Phenomena, where they had is it Phenomena? I think it was Phenomena and what's the other one? Another one where on the poster they had the domestic poster, and then on the flip side they had, I think, the Japanese poster or foreign poster. Mm-hmm. I wanted to get to one comment here, if I can get back down to it. Let me see here.
While you're digging for that, I'll answer this one really quick. Someone, Return of the Disc says that he's conflicted emotionally with the dinner scene and always ends up awkward laughing, and that's 100% the proper response to that scene. That's how it's supposed to work. And then another commenter says that a PG of TCM wouldn't work for him, and I'm inclined to agree. I like the edginess that is in the movie, and if they took that out, I'd probably still like it, because we wouldn't know any better, but I like it for that edginess that it has. Yeah,
I agree. I don't think it would work as a PG movie. It just I was thinking while watching this, how could he think he could get away with a PG movie while watching this? I mean, and his reasoning has been in interview and stuff. Well, it doesn't show any gore or blood, but still, it's really dark and disturbing. Let's see here. This is a comment here. Steve Mayer says, "Does Vinegar Syndrome ever release out of print titles like the limited edition TCM2? I missed out on that one, unfortunately."
So yeah, they do. What you have to do, two things that you should do. Actually, there's three things in total, because those titles, when they do get reissued, are really hard to get, but you can do it. One, put the app on your phone, because you'll get notifications in the app if they restock stuff. Two, sign up for their newsletter, because they do send out emails when they restock. And three, there's a restock section on their website you should just be checking once in a while if there's something you really missed out on.
Yeah, I had an alert. I think it was last week or the week before, where they got the TCM2 back in stock with the hard slipcover. But those go fast, man. And I always tell everyone, once they go on pre-order, jump on those, because they go fast. But then,
and this is sold out. This box that we're talking about right now is sold out.
Yeah, you can't get this anymore. I think Diabolic has some still in stock. So
I checked their website earlier today when I did my TikTok, and it said out of stock.
Oh, okay. So yeah, the only way you can get this now is buying just the standard disc version, and
that standard disc version is fine. It has everything that's inside this. It just doesn't give you the book and the art cards and the nice box and all that stuff.
Yeah.
I love so much, though.
Exactly here.
I do.
See, John Pimmel said, "My first glimpse of TCM was from Terror in the Isles, as it also introduced me to other horror films." Yeah, I actually saw Terror in the Isles when I was much older, after I saw a bunch of the horror films.
Same with me.
But yeah, I mean, that's a great one, guys. If you haven't seen Terror in the Isles, it's good. I mean, it shows clips of movies, but the way they do it is kind of like a horror movie in itself. Brent Madsen says those Martin art cards are fantastic. I agree. Let's see here. See, Brent Madsen says Amazon UK has the TCM Limited still in stock. They ship to the US.
Oh, wow. Then you should get it if you need it, because it's going fast.
Yeah, if it's this box set, definitely jump on that right now, because it's going to go fast. Austin says, I first saw TM1 on that old MPI VHS. Oh, yeah. Yeah,
oh, wow.
I mean, yeah, and MPI, I don't know if anybody knows this, but MPI and Dark Sky are basically the same company. They're like sisters, companies to each other. And Dark Sky owns all the rights to Texas Chainsaw Massacre. They restored it in 4K, I believe in 2016, somewhere around there, when they released a Blu-ray, and then they just now did the UHD version. And as far as I know, I haven't checked this out myself yet. I don't know if Steven has.
Just in clips. I haven't been able to sit down and really watch it yet, but I have looked at clips.
So what I'm hearing is, between the Second Sight and the Dark Sky version, Second Sight used the same 2016 4K master, and so they worked off of that. They sourced it from that, and from what I'm hearing, there's some slight differences there with the color grading, which people are saying looks better. But overall, if you're just generally watching it, you're not going to notice a huge difference. So there's not like a 19-day difference between Second Sight or the Dark Sky release.
See, that's not what I've been hearing.
Oh, really?
I've been hearing it's a little more excessive. And I was kind of hoping you would do this, because you're the master at it, doing the comparison between the two, because the big thing is not necessarily the color, but it's the brightness in the HDR. Like, there's some sequences on the Second Sight one where when the characters are outside, you can see the clouds in the sky. But in the Dark Sky one, it's blown out. You can't see any sky. It's just white. And that's when you know the brightness is too hot. And I'm a little surprised that they would leave it there, but I think there's a lot of nuance that goes into applying that HDR color grade. And Dark Sky hasn't been doing it. Second Sight has. They've been doing it for a while.
Yeah, I'm not sure if Dark Sky did their restoration in-house or if they sourced it out. But
Right.
Second Sight does their own restorations, their own transfers, all in-house. All their color grading. And they do a great job. I mean, I've seen some others. I can't think of the titles off the top of my head, but I've seen others where the domestic release, and then I watched the Second Sight version, and Second Sight is far superior. So, from what you're saying, that's going to be the same with this as well, where we're not going to have those blown out skies. And I did see one review where someone said that when the names of the characters. Can't think of the names of the characters on my head, but when the brother and sister walk up to the Sawyer house and it says a POV from the house looking through the screen door, I heard that on the Second Sight version, you can clearly make out the screen and also the people in front of the screen, and the dark sky one is a little blown out, and you really can't see that extra finer detail with the screen.
That's what it sounds like. Is the brightness is a little bit out of bounds in the dark sky one. The overall image, I will say, is a little darker than like previous releases that we've seen, like the Blu-ray and then the DVD. But it having seen it on film myself a couple of times, it feels appropriate to what I've seen.
Okay.
Theatrically, it looks right, and the level of detail. There's the cool thing about this movie is there's so much happening inside that house in the background, and you can see a lot more of it now, and it's going to blow you away.
Oh yeah. I mean, reading reviews on it, like I read some reviews, and they were saying that you can see all the little dirt and grime in the Sawyer house, and just all this, even in the darkest spots of the corners of the frame, you can see everything. What's weird about this is that I tried to pull images from the dark sky, and it wasn't allowing me to. So I don't know if there was some kind of new copy protection on there where it's not allowing me to pull images from the disc. So I'm going to have to look into that. I may need to update my driver software or something, but because I would love to do a comparison between the two. Let's go through some of the chat here. Let's see here.
All right, let's see.
Where did we leave off here? Okay, so we left off. Okay, Brett Madsen says Amazon UK has. Okay, we already read that. Austin says I first saw. I read that.
Oh yeah, he thinks the remake is decent. A lot of people think that, but for me, the Texas Chainsaw Massacre franchise ends at TCM 2.
Exactly.
Everything else is bad to mediocre for me. There's some that is that. It's not that it's bad, but it's not so great that I need to like think about it. That's just me. That's my feeling on it.
Oh, I 100% agree. I don't really care for the other ones, especially that newer remake that was what was it straight to Netflix?
Oh, the Netflix one. Yeah,
that was awful. So here, Austin says I first saw TCM2 on that special edition VHS from Anchor Bay. Wow. Does anybody remember that? It was a widescreen tape too.
I do. I remember that.
Wow. Yeah, I was like I said, I only saw this on TV until I was much older, but that's awesome. That'd be cool. I mean, amazing if you still had the tape. Let's see here. Space Mountaineer 91 says, having only seen the Second Sight one, it's simply beautiful. Absolutely the best I've ever seen it. Oh, that's good news. Good. Okay. I can't wait.
Space Mountaineer is my filmmaking co-producer, by the way.
Okay.
He's got he's kind of like you in that way. He's got an eyeball for the detail.
Nice.
Yeah. So
nice. Yeah. I mean, I've had I've had some people try to call me out saying I'm a fraud online lately, but
I know who it is. I know.
Yeah, I'm not going to get into it. I was going to, but yeah, no reason to. Let's see here. Austin says TCM3 I saw on VHS as well. Part 4 late night on Cinemax. So you weren't watching Skinemax. You were watching Skinemax late at night.
Or you were watching that, hoping you were watching Skinemax, and then wasn't any skin. I mean, that's happened.
John Pimble says something. Yeah, I agree, John. Historically, Second Sight is the way to go. Brent Madison says, pre-order the Second Sight release of The Changeling, 4K limited edition. I actually first saw The Changeling on Joe Bob Briggs' Last Drive-In on Shudder. I think it was last year or the year before. They played it on their Friday marathon. It's the first time I saw it. Good movie.
It is a good movie. But isn't it Severin that just put that out for like an exorbitant amount of money? It's like $50 for. I think there's another Region B release coming that's a little more reasonable price. That's probably the one I'll get because it doesn't really matter with 4K.
Yeah. I mean, I was thinking of getting that, and I was looking at the price. I'm like, I don't know if I want to spend that much on it. And then second, is it Second Sight that came out with it?
I don't think it's Second Sight. It was a company. I saw the Dawn of the Disc. Somebody like that had posted that there was a standard 4K coming out, and it was a company I didn't recognize right away.
Okay. Let's see here. Austin also says on TCM2 in the final shot, you used to see a bridge with cars driving across, and now on every release it's not there.
Well, we'll have to see if it's on this new release.
On TCM, on Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2? Or...
Oh.
Okay. I'm not sure. Are you talking about the Vinegar Syndrome one also that you don't see the cars driving by? Huh, I didn't pick up on that. Hey, Cecil, welcome to the stream. Glad to see you here. Austin says again... Oh, go ahead.
Oh, I was going to say, the other thing that I'm excited for that I haven't had a chance to look at all, but I'm told, is that the Atmos mix is pretty incredible in some spots.
Now, I don't know. Did you see you watched the Dark Sky one, correct?
No, not all the way through, just in clips.
Okay. So I've heard that, because I believe this also has, the Dark Sky also has a Dolby Atmos track, which was great, but I'm hearing that the Second Sight one might be better, from what I'm hearing. I don't think it's a whole new mix track, but it has subtle differences from what I'm hearing.
Well, they went to the trouble on their special features page to note that they did their own audio mix and their own HDR. Like if you look on Second Sight and you look in the special features section, it'll say special restoration done by Second Sight, and that tells me that they probably put some attention to it. But I agree with you. It's probably the same bass mix, but they've just done their own tweaks to it.
Tweaks and change little subtleties in there. Austin says TCM4 was pretty bad. Yeah, that was bad.
Yeah, I agree with you.
Which one's the one?
I say I don't really like them, but I've watched every single one of them.
Which one's the one with McConaughey? Is that 3? The Next Generation?
Isn't it Next Generation? I think, isn't that 3?
Is that 3 or 4?
It's real bad because that also has what's her name?
Renee Zellweger.
Renee Zellweger. Yeah. She always looks like she sucked a lemon to me.
Yeah, she has that. She has that face.
I mean, she's cute now. She just looks like that.
Yeah. Or she always looks like she's always crying as well. Austin again says, only rented that TCM tape at Hollywood Video, so I don't have it. Oh, okay. What's Johnny watching? Hey, man, thanks for joining tonight. Glad to see you here. Did you... before I proceed to another unboxing, did you want to talk a little about your love for Texas Chainsaw 4? Texas Chainsaw 2, not 4.
Oh, sure. Yeah, so I feel like Stretch, who's I guess the closest thing to a final girl, she's highly underappreciated as a final girl. And I actually love the deep dive in a comedy, which we were just talking about, and I'll show you something. Actually, it's good we're talking about this. Is I got the TCM to the hardbox Vinegar Syndrome one, but I actually got it improved this weekend. Check this out.
Here, let me full screen you there. Oh, whoa, no way.
Bill Moseley was in town at an event, and he signed it, and of course wrote his character name down the side of the box there for me.
Oh, wow.
Chop Top. Wow. And I previously met him some years ago and got a picture from him, and he wrote that Dog Will Hunt on the picture and signed it. So he always has to add something from the movie. But I found out from him at this event that he actually lives in Nashville now, because I asked him what his next project was, and he said going back home to renovate his kitchen.
Oh, wow.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry for you. But yeah, he was so cool. A lot of people were there for Devil's Rejects, and I'm like,
I'm not a huge Devil Rejects fan.
I love Devil's Rejects, but there's just something about this one that I mean, the dual wielding chainsaws.
Oh yeah.
It's just an epic scene. And if I remember correctly from the bonus features on here, is Dennis Hopper had just come out of rehab and did this movie.
Yeah.
And he immediately comes to do this dual wielding badass preacher, cop, vigilante, everything. That scene when he's walking through that giant busted down park with the bones. It's just such a beautiful scene, and it's so Tobe Hooper. Tobe Hooper, obviously he wasn't the cinematographer, but his direction of the cinematographer, he's low-key got beautiful movies, and people don't give enough respect for that. If you look at TCM is beautiful in its own way, but this one actually has some gorgeous shots in it, and then Funhouse is... I love Funhouse.
Well, also, I mean, this was shot on 16 millimeter shoestring, low budget movie. They couldn't afford to have 35 millimeter, and they used what they had. And so now, and then with Texas Chainsaw 2, it's shot on 35 millimeter. He has some money on it. He was able to do exactly what he wanted to do with that. And like you said, a lot of people, especially when it first came out, they didn't know what to make of this movie. They had no idea what to make of this movie.
Well, and this thing, and it was put out by the Cannon Group. And if you know who the Cannon Group is, Golan Globus, they did action movies. They did Chuck Norris, Delta Force movies and stuff like that. But they wanted in on the Texas Chainsaw action in 1986. So he did that. The only reason he did the sequel was to get a deal to do another movie. And then, Cannon Group imploded in on itself, and it never happened. So,
well, I think he had a 3-picture deal. I think after that he did Invaders from Mars, and then the name escapes me now. Invaders from Mars, and then the Vampire
Life Force.
Yeah. Life Force.
Life Force is a good movie. People underestimate that movie. It's good though.
I love Life Force. It's and that has. You watch Tobe Hooper movies, and yeah, he's a horror guy, but like we talked about earlier, he's also a very dark comedy, and you see that thread through all of his films.
He even does a pretty good job with bringing in his social commentary. He does it in the right way. It's kind of low key, and you discover it over multiple viewings.
Yeah. Like I said, I mean, proof. I've been watching this since I was 13, Texas Chainsaw, and I didn't really see the dark humor that people were talking about until recently with the Dark Sky release. So it's like each time you watch one of his movies, you get something new out of it. Let's see here. Let's go back to the comments real quick. John Pimmel says, Paul is not a fraud. So say we all. Well, thanks, John. I appreciate that. Let's see here. Austin says, TCM3 apparently had a lot of gore cut from it, and even the unrated isn't fully uncut. Yeah, I heard about that as well. And I think that I think that after Tobe Hooper left the franchise, people saw Texas Chainsaw 2, and they're thinking, that's what people want is gore. The movie wasn't just about gore. I mean, the first one didn't even have any gore in it.
TCM is like Halloween in that way. It has more implied gore, and it makes you feel like you saw something gory by atmosphere. And I just think I love a gory movie, but if you can get me without gore, then you've really done something.
Yeah, it's brilliant. I mean, and it reminds me of David Fincher, where with Seven, you never see the actual murder or blood, but you see the aftermath, and so you think that this is a gory movie when it has no gore in it. I just think when directors do that, they're special directors when they can do that.
Well, and that's one of the other things why I always say that Tobe Hooper is the most. I used to say he was the saltiest director in horror. I think John Carpenter is a close second with that. But if you watch TCM2, he spent years being accused of making this super gory movie with Texas Chainsaw. So when he does 2, he brings in buckets and buckets of blood. He shows somebody get skinned, and live through it.
Yeah, so. Yeah. It's kind of like the Joe Dante Gremlins 2 thing where he never wanted to make a sequel. Warner Brothers kept pressuring him, so he's like, okay, if I'm going to make a sequel, I'm going to make the sequel I want to make. And he just, Toby would just put everything in there. Let's see here real quick with the comments, and then we'll move on. The thing with TCM2 on the old VHS is you did see a traffic bridge behind Carolyn Williams welding a chainsaw. On the DVD release, Blu-ray, and now 4K, the bridge is missing for some reason. Huh. That's interesting.
That is interesting. So Austin says, can you imagine a Canon Films TCM 3 or 4? It would have been great if Hooper would have done them. They would have gone full like Rambo at some point. Like they would have gotten, for Dennis Hopper, they would have went and got Ricardo Montalban's chest piece from Wrath of Khan, giving him machine guns with chainsaws hanging off the bottom.
Yeah, they'll have the that scene where he grabs chainsaw with music.
Yep.
And then he's all fully chainsaws everywhere, guns everywhere, and he's like, "Let's go."
Exactly. It would have happened.
I'm going hunting.
Fortunately, they just did Cobra instead. Sylvester Stallone movie. Where they had to have an axe battle at the end of the movie.
Yeah. I've heard that's coming on 4K. I heard it. I don't know if the rumor's true, but I've heard it.
So Scream Factory and Criterion are the two companies that I almost completely refuse to buy Blu-rays from at this point, because I just don't know.
I'm with you, and I've been telling my friends that, I've been telling other people that I'm scared, like road games. I was going to purchase road games last night on Amazon from Shaft Factory, and then I thought to myself, wait a minute. I looked at the specs, and it's from a 4K restoration, so I thought, oh, okay, wait a minute. As soon as I buy this, they're going to be announcing tomorrow that they're releasing on UHD. And
don't do it to me. I've got that Indicator hard box, and I love it. Oh, I love that movie.
Yeah, guys, if you haven't seen Road Games, I think it was in 81 or 83. Great movie, man.
They promote Jamie Lee Curtis all over that packaging and marketing. I mean, she's in the movie like 10 minutes.
Yeah, it's on Shudder, guys. So if you got Shudder, you can check it out if you haven't seen it. Watch Johnny Watching says, I've only seen the Dark Skies release of TCM. Amos Track is a nice addition. Totally agree.
Well, based off what I heard today, I can't wait to look at it.
See, Return of the Disc here says, hey guys, trying to complete a Kino Lorber sell order. If you can only buy one of these, which would you choose on 4K? Death Wish or Paths of Glory?
Paths of Glory is probably a better movie, but I would go Death Wish all day long.
Yeah, I mean, I hate questions like that because I always say, well, I guess my go-to answer is, what do you think you'll watch more?
Okay, so if you're a collector, here's the other part. Did you or are you going to get the Death Wish 2 4K from Vinegar Syndrome? Because if you're going to do that, you got to have the set. See?
Yeah.
I mean, it's 100% what I'm going to do, because that was one of the other things I was going to show you that I picked up was the Death Wish 2.
Oh, nice.
4K from Second Sight.
I ended up getting that, but it didn't come with a hard slipcover.
Yeah,
nice.
So that's a piece of advice that I'll give is I keep a running list of things that I want to buy from Vinegar Syndrome, and I watch if the number gets down to 200, I hit the button, and when this hit 200 with the slip, I just hit the buy button, and sure enough, within a day or so, the slips were gone. It just happens so fast.
Yeah, like I said earlier, you just got to jump on it right when they're announced.
Yep.
Oh, that reminds me. The Vinegar Syndrome new announcement releases. There's one movie that I have not seen. I was wondering if you saw it. Is it Blade in the Dark? Is that what it's called?
I have not seen it. Like this newest set, there was like 4 movies or something in that list. I haven't seen any of them.
Yeah, I was reading up. I haven't seen that. I was reading up about it, and I see great reviews on it. So I was curious if you checked it out.
Yeah, I hear the hype about it, but I always get scared about that hype because I get suckered in by it and then end up flipping whatever I bought from them because it wasn't good. So I'm scared.
Yeah,
I'm hearing the same thing. I'm hearing really good things about it.
Yeah, I don't know if I want to spend $40 on it right now, at least. But yeah, to get your question, Return of the Disc, I mean, honestly, my go-to would be Death Wish.
Yep. Death Wish is such a good movie.
That's my go-to. But yeah.
Okay. Here's something that I've heard a bunch of times. recently because of the Creepshow 4K that's coming out.
Yeah.
Austin brings this up, and it's been brought up to me so many times. People wanting a Demon Knight and Bordello of Blood 4K, and I think that's going to happen. And it wouldn't surprise me if they did them in a double pack the way they did the Slumber Party Massacre movies. I think that's going to happen. I think they'll do it.
That would be cool. I know does Universal still own those? I'm not sure, but I know that Universal has a lot of new 4Ks that they're working on getting out.
That would be the only thing that would screw that up, is if they wanted to do them.
Yeah, Universal's like Paramount. It's really hit and miss with how good. However, though, Paramount's been killing it lately with the past couple releases. I don't know if you got the TNG movies.
No, not yet.
Oh, man. Night and day difference. Truly a 9-day difference between the Blu-ray and the 4Ks. I chose to buy them singly because way better artwork. And
it is better artwork. I'll probably eventually get the box set. I love that artwork, but the box set, I think, will go down in price, and that's kind of what I'm waiting for.
Yeah, the only thing I hate about those box sets is the clamshell. All the discs are kind of stacked on top of each other, and
Paramount doesn't do a good job of packaging, honestly.
No, they do awful. By the way, shameless plug here. I actually finished pulling all the images from all the TNG movies from the Blu-ray that I have here and the 4Ks, and
nice.
I'm hoping to have both reviews up tomorrow or Thursday. So
sweet.
Keep an eye out for that. There was a question here I saw. I can't find it now. John Pimble says Kino Lorber sale had Marathon Man and Pillium for $18 each. Finally snagged them up during the sale. Beautiful transfers as well.
For which movie?
What was it? Marathon Man and Pillium 123.
Oh, okay. I need to pick those up.
Yeah, you need to get those beautiful transfers.
So I'll tell you, I've been a little tight on purchasing this last month because the other thing I did, and I don't have a way to show it to you yet. I'm working on that. The other thing I did at this event I went to on Saturday is I pre-ordered the Friday the 13th box set back when Scream Factory first announced it. So I got that limited edition lithograph that's basically the print around the box, where there were a handful of people in town here from various Friday the 13th movies. And I went and dropped about $300 on signatures to get that thing just covered in autographs to hang on the wall. And it's so cool. I love it so much.
You got to come back and show us that.
Yeah, it's so big, and it's been rolled since I bought it, so it won't lay flat. So I've got to get it. Once I get it framed, I'll come back and
definitely.
Put it on
I
the
would
screen.
love to see that. That would be awesome. What do you think the chances are in getting? Because Friday the 13th got a UHD. What do you think the chances are in getting the rest of them?
I don't know.
I believe.
Wouldn't it depend on if Scream Factory got the rights to do them? Because Scream Factory didn't do the first few of them. Those are Paramount's, right?
Yeah, Paramount. I believe Paramount restored 1, 2, and 3, and they didn't do the rest.
Which is annoying because everybody knows that the final chapter is the best Friday movie.
I agree.
Right?
I think 4 is definitely the best movie. That'd be great, but I get asked all the time too about Nightmare on Elm Street, and from what I heard from numerous sources, Warner Brothers isn't doing it because of some kind of rights issue, some kind of
So I like what Scream Factory on their podcast, they were pretty definitive about it because I guess everybody's been hounding them. And this was last year that they said, listen, we wanted to do it, but according to what they were told by the studio was that Nightmare on Elm Street is still considered a ongoing franchise.
Oh.
So there's no licensing it out to anybody.
Wow.
So that may mean they've had some Nightmare movie in turnaround for 10 years.
I heard they're starting production on another one, but
they'll probably partner with Blumhouse and ruin it.
Like they did the last one. That was awful.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I know the first Nightmare on Elm Street was restored in 4K, just released on Blu-ray. But it'd be great to have them all. John Pimmel says, tomorrow TerrorVision is announcing their next slate. Very interested in those companies' obscure titles coming out. Do you have many? Do you have much TerrorVision titles, Stephen?
Mm-mm. I've never ordered anything from them.
Me neither. Yeah, I'm not too familiar with them.
Well, wait, are they a partner label of Vinegar Syndrome?
I am not sure.
Yeah, that would be the only way I would have any TerrorVision. I've never ordered direct from them.
Let us know, guys, if you know if TerrorVision is partnered with Vinegar Syndrome. Let's see. Austin says here, anyone have the Creature 1985 4K from Vinegar Syndrome? I do have it with a slip.
Is that a 4K?
It's not a UHD, but I think it had a 4K scan.
Yeah, I have it. I bought it during the $10 sale.
Nice.
I was going to say, I didn't think it was a 4K. It might be a 4K restoration, but it's a Blu-ray.
Yeah,
I know.
just a Blu-ray. Yeah,
I haven't watched it yet, though. I just bought it during that sale.
I didn't buy it, but I rented it from Movie Trading Company, the last remaining video store in Fort Worth.
That's amazing.
Let's see here. Let me go ahead and open up this guy here. I'm not sure what's in it. I received it earlier today, so let's take a look.
Sometimes mystery boxes are the best boxes.
Yeah, and if I ordered something, I don't remember ordering it. But I think this might be sent from a studio.
Can't imagine Jason Goes to Hell or Jason X in 4K, but would be cool. Agreed.
Right.
I would be cool with that whole set in 4K if I could get it.
Take a look at that this artwork from Paramount.
All right, what do you got?
Let me full screen it here.
Yeah, let's see. Oh, yeah, I'm going to have to get this. I saw that came out. Yeah, I need that. I need to add that to my collection. I have not done enough Paramount Presents, honestly.
Honestly, I'm real hesitant of Paramount Presents with Paramount anymore.
How come?
Just a number of their movies. I mean, even though they look better than the Blu-ray, a lot of their movies, just their 4K UHDs, just aren't really up to par to other releases.
And then they do something like It's a Wonderful Life that looks like it was made yesterday because it's a gorgeous restoration.
Yeah, like Planes, Trains, and Automobiles. I mean, that's a classic, and it looks good, but there's color fluctuations. One scene will look bright and vibrant and have color. The next scene, it looks almost dull looking. And yeah, they keep going back and forth. Like, all the Star Treks look phenomenal, beautiful, but then you have other releases that just look awful. Let me show a better view. Yeah. So, guys, here's look at that artwork on that steelbook.
I think this movie is fun. It's some real 80s cheese.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
And then, little did you know, Ninja 3 The Domination would come after this. And she would still be wearing leg warmers.
Oh, yeah. Now, I know this got a 4K restoration a couple years ago, and that's what the Paramount Presents was. So I'm assuming they source it from that. It's just on UHD now. But I love the artwork on that.
Yeah, it's cool.
Totally 80s.
Very fitting.
Here, I'm going to go ahead and give away the digital code. If anybody wants the digital code to this...
Uh-oh, here we go.
I'm going to put it up for 10 seconds, and then I'm going to put it down. Let me zoom in here. Let's get it in there close enough.
It says,
What? Okay,
Space Mountaineer is complaining. He says, them not restoring the Nightmare is a crime, purely unacceptable, considering how bad the Blu-rays look by today's standards. Well, and also those Blu-rays, there's at least one time in that box set that there's two movies on one disc.
Yeah. I don't own the Nightmares.
I have them,
but
it's a crappy set.
Yeah, that's what I've heard. That's why I haven't spent the money to pick it up. That's awesome. Yeah, so I got this from Paramount. Once in a while, Paramount will surprise me and send me something. So this was.
So you know what I think? I guess I'm okay. I'm more apologetic for Paramount because I hate Disney's 4K so badly.
Oh,
like I just really hate Disney's 4Ks. They all just They look like really just barely 4Ks to me.
Yeah.
Like, everyone raved about the Star Wars 4K, and I'm like, it's not good. I don't think it's very good.
Yeah, let me ask you this. Do you think now that Bob Iger has claimed that physical media is a viable source now, do you think that they're going to do better on their 4K treatments?
I hope so, and I hope because they can solve the problem. When they first acquired Fox, they had a stellar 4K team in Fox. I mean, look at the Speed 4K. That's not Disney. That's Fox. And they had a team in place, and I don't know if those people are gone, have moved on to other jobs, but if they have access to those people, they have somebody, some people in place that could do some really good 4Ks, and we really need the Alien movies in 4K.
Oh yeah,
the whole set.
I love the whole set, but even just Aliens would be great. As I know, Die Hard. Well, I think that came out before.
The first Die Hard is a Fox release. It's in 4K.
Yeah, and that looks great too. So
it does.
I'm hoping that Bob Iger puts more effort into their 4Ks. Let's see here. What's Johnny Watching says? I'd say next year for Footloose. That way they can coincide with the anniversary. That'd be great too. I've thought about that as well. That Footloose is going to be coming.
Okay, so that was a funny thing. Speaking of Footloose, Kevin Bacon's about to make a little bit of get a little notoriety because he's in Maxine.
So, I heard about that.
Yeah, so that'll be interesting. I actually commented on one of his TikToks, and he commented back to me, which was pretty great.
Oh, nice.
Now I literally am a couple of degrees from Kevin Bacon because he commented to me on TikTok.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
So let me ask you, if you were to choose like one classic Paramount movie from the 80s to do in 4K UHD, beautiful restoration, what would you choose?
I don't know. I feel like the main movies that I would want, they're doing it. The Indiana Jones movies I would have to have. I kind of wish that they would go back and do a good transfer of Gremlins because that 4K is not good.
That's Warner Brothers.
Oh, that's Warner Brothers. Yeah. Oh, okay. Yeah, I think when you say that, I initially would go to the Indiana Jones movies. I'm not sure. I mean, there's a lot of things that I like. That they did the Beverly Hills Cop movies. I love those. Trading Places. I like those. They're doing it. I feel like they're doing the movies that I would be interested in. I love to look back when Eddie Murphy was actually funny and be able to watch those movies because
48 Hours.
Lost it. Yeah, the 48 Hours movies.
Yeah. One that I was kind of hoping that I'm not even sure if they'll do is Black Rain.
I think somebody will do that one. To be honest with you,
I heard Trading Places is coming out with a UHD, but there was one.
I think anything that has come out to this point on a Paramount Presents is probably going to get that 4K upgrade. I think.
Because they're already restored in 4K. They just need to upgrade to UHD. They're doing it with Vanilla Sky and Elizabethtown and a couple others. The Firm was just announced, which
I like The Firm a lot. I like that movie. I'm happy to see that coming to 4K.
Yeah. What's funny is that one Paramount movie that I've been wanting to see on UHD for the longest time was Dragon Slayer, and then they announced it was coming out on UHD. So Paramount's doing it. They're getting their catalog out.
Yeah, I feel like they tripped up a little bit with that Paramount Presents line, and it's the whole reason that I don't have them all is because they started dropping these, collector editions out, but they weren't putting them out in 4K. And now they're going back and doing 4K. Some people are getting upset because they bought the Blu-rays, but that's what happens.
Yeah, Ghost had a 4K restoration, but only on Blu-ray, and so that's what they're going to be doing.
Yeah, we're going to get that 4K.
Let's see here. Austin says it's fun seeing these old movies getting restored in 4K. Not just that, but from these boutique labels doing beautiful work, and not just what studios do where they just give you the disc, but they actually put effort into bringing in some of the cast or crew for interviews, doing all these supplemental materials. This is great. And Austin says, is Fatal Attraction on 4K? Yeah, it is. It has UHD.
It is.
I haven't heard good things about it, though.
Oh, that's a shame.
What's Johnny Watching says, Paul, did you like the transfer Paramount did for Dragon Slayer? go check out my video, and you'll see if I liked it or not. It's a night and day difference from their old, which was just a DVD. So obviously it's going to be better in DVD. But
yeah,
it's amazing. The whole point of the video is to see the important. I mean, not the changes of the power what 4K can do. The changes that 4K can do to the movie.
And see, this is the thing that I always want to say is I see a lot of people saying that, oh, comedies don't need 4K. They're not that visually interesting, or dramas don't need to. Anything that was shot on a piece of film will benefit from a 4K presentation.
Well, it's
even
funny.
If it's 16 millimeter. 16 millimeter you can pull a 4K print from 16 and it looks good.
It's funny you mentioned that because I had a friend on Instagram that was talking to me about that, and for a couple years he would always say that doesn't need to be on 4K. That doesn't need to be on 4K. I would mention a movie like Airplane. That doesn't need to be on 4K. It's a comedy.
Yeah,
it doesn't matter. And that's what I always say. Yeah, it does. Everything needs to be on 4K. And then just recently he messaged me and said, "Dude, I just bought a new TV with Dolby Vision, all the goods." And I put in a 4K, and holy crap, I want everything in 4K now. And I'm like, told you? See how much better it is?
Yeah.
Austin says, anyone have the breakdown Blu-ray? Yes, I do. Actually, I have.
I do.
Did you have the Paramount one or the?
I do. I have the Paramount one. I've always really liked that movie. And the minute it went up for pre-order, I just hit buy. Because I've just always liked Breakdown. I think it's an underappreciated movie.
Great movie. I think I saw that 5 times in the theater. I love that movie.
It's got such a good villain.
Oh yeah, I mean, everything on that movie is great. The music, everything's great. I ended up getting, because I think is it Umbrella or Imprint that released it first. Either one of those. They released it like a few first, and I didn't know if Paramount was going to actually release it on Blu-ray, so I picked that one up. But it's the exact same transfer.
Yeah.
Austin, I also think that might get a UHD release as well.
Yeah, probably.
Austin says, could 8mm film look good on 4K? I don't think anyone's asked that. Yeah. Oh, 8mm. Oh, wait. Okay, I thought you were talking
about actual film or the movie 8mm.
That's what I was thinking. I was like, are you talking about the Nick Cage movie? That's why I said, like, yeah, of course. I don't know. What do you think, Steven?
I think it would absolutely benefit anything that's shot on a chemically created organic piece of material. There's more to be pulled from it. When you shoot digital, you got ones and zeros and that's it. But when you take something that was created on a piece of film, there's always more to pull from it. Now, I don't think you can do a true 4K that's not upscaled from an 8mm piece of film. I know you can do it from a 16. I don't think you can do it from an 8, but it would definitely look better than the Blu-ray because you would have that room for the dynamic color. Yeah,
and like I said, you can always pull more information from the negative. Mm-hmm. And that's another thing. Going back to 16mm, I have people bombarding me all the time saying, "You can't do 4K in 16mm. What's the point?" And it's like, they I point them to my Thriller comparison review. And I say, take a look at that. Take a look at that. That answers all your questions.
You could pull a full 4K res image from 16, and you can get between 6 and 8K from a 35.
Yeah.
So there's still room for growth, even now. If we were to ever have 6 or 8K video, there's room from films. The Marvel movie that you watched, Thor: Love and Thunder, that's forever and always going to be a 2K. That's all you're getting. Everything else will just be an upscale, and that's what it is. Yeah,
even though they might have been shot in 8K, 12K, whatever K, they were, all the effects are rendered in 2K.
Yeah,
and so that's why all the Disney movies are upscaled. I don't who asked this question. Let's see here. Someone asked about Day of the Dead being in 4K. What's Johnny watching? Yeah, that's. I think that's true. I've heard. I don't know if Steven's heard, but I've heard that all the Day of the Dead movies are being held by one guy, all the licensing. So I think that might be why it doesn't have a 4K yet. And if it does, it will probably be in the UK like Dawn of the Dead is. And
I think the last time we saw anything from Day of the Dead was that Anchor Bay Blu-ray, right? Or did Shout Factory have it?
Shout Factory. Yeah, Shout Factory did one.
Okay.
I think 2016, somewhere around there. Yeah, I grabbed that. Moose says, my rule is if it don't have the slip cover, I ain't buying it. Steven kind of knows my thoughts on that with slip covers. My thing is, I mean, yeah, they're great. I love slip covers. Which are actually in the industry, they're called O-rings, but slip covers. But to me, it's like if I want to buy a movie, I'm buying it for the movie. I'm not buying it just for the artwork. So if it ends up not having a slipcover, I'm still going to buy the movie. Artwork 100%. The artwork and the slipcover is just a bonus to me, you know.
Well, and the slipcover only matters from a couple of companies. Vinegar Syndrome, yeah, it's a cool piece of art. But if I want the movie, I'm like you. It's about the movie first.
Yeah.
Depending on how much I love that movie is how much effort I'm going to go to make sure I get the slip. Like this TCM set that we just got, that's one of my top 5 favorite movies of all time. I'm going to get the best looking, best presented version of that movie I can get because I love it so much.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, I've seen some people do that. I actually had one guy, a friend of mine, text me and said, I forgot what movie it was, but it was a movie that he loves, and he said, but it doesn't have a slip cover, so I didn't buy it. I'm like, why?
That's crazy.
Well, maybe you didn't love it that much then. I don't know.
Yeah. I've seen some people in these, especially the Vinegar Syndrome collectors groups, and I'm in a few of them, that will, when Vinegar Syndrome releases stuff, they'll buy the movies with the slips. They'll keep the movies and then flip the slip cover for what they paid for the movie.
Yeah.
Because people just buy the slips.
That's insane.
That's a little crazy. Yeah.
I can't imagine spending 50 or $100 on a piece of flimsy cardboard. But yeah. I mean, even those Vinegar Syndrome ones, even though they're hard, still, I mean, I don't know. People have learned not to ask me about slip covers because I go on a rant.
Now, I'm kind of right there in the middle. I actually really like the artwork, and there's certain things like the Arrow Video Dario Argento releases, for example. I could have bought those from Synapse domestically, but I already had one. I had the first Arrow release, and I wanted the complete set, all in the same box. So I continued to order from overseas to keep getting it in the same package, even though the Synapse version is exactly the same. But I just wanted that because they look good on the shelf. They do.
Yeah. I mean, and if it's a slip cover, well, like if the artwork on the case is the exact same as the slip, I don't really care about that. But if the slip cover is something special, like some newly commissioned artwork that looks really cool, then yeah, I'll definitely buy it for the slipcase, and it looks great.
Hot take for the slipcover collectors: I think Scream Factory is overrated.
Well, you want an even hotter take? I think I've told you this, but I don't keep my slipcovers. Most of them. Some of them I do. Most of them I don't. The reason you're going to faint. Here's the reason. I got a good reason for this. The reason being is because inevitably the corners always get roughed up. They always get bent. They always get smudged. They always get ruined. I have a niece and a nephew that will come over and they'll grab the movies off the shelf without me watching and stopping them, and they'll ruin them. And so yeah, I mean, I guess I could. I've thought about storing them away like in a drawer or something, but then I was thinking, why? Just so that they sit there in a drawer and don't do anything. So I mean,
I said that about Scream Factory right after somebody posted the only slips I care for are the Shout Factory, Arrow, and maybe Vinegar Syndrome. Okay, well you got all the good ones in there.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, like I said, I will hold on to the slips if they have some really cool artwork that's different than the artwork on the case. I will definitely hold on to those. Let me ask you though, and I'm going to do a giveaway right now, but let me ask you this first. What do you think of that? What do you think of the artwork on? Let me. The eyeball.
Don't care for it.
Yeah,
I don't care about it.
I've heard a lot of mixed feelings on this slip. Everybody wants a slip to look like the Steelbook has. I was going to get into this, and I totally forgot about that. Now this reminded me. You brought it up too, that this is the original poster artwork from the UK.
That's actually the VHS box.
Really?
Artwork, yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I see people in groups and social media saying, "Why the hell did they put that artwork? That's awful artwork. That's not the real artwork." Well, then again, you're not living in the UK. This is a UK company.
Everybody thinks everybody in the US thinks that everybody in the world is marketing to them, and it's just not the case.
Right. This is I've told people on chat rooms and stuff. This is Second Sight is a UK distribution company, so they would use artwork that they're familiar with, and it's a great callback to the VHS box, like you said. All right, guys, I'm going to do a quick giveaway here, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to ask a question in this movie trivia box. Let me find a good one here. Some of these are way too easy. I'm trying to find a good one here. Do you want to go over some of the comments while I'm looking?
Sure. Let's see. So, Arrow makes some nice hard cases. I'll show you guys a quick hard case while he's if something else that I had to show, since you're bringing up Arrow. So at that event that I was at over the weekend, I have this beautiful Hills Have Eyes 4K from Arrow Video. One of my favorite hardbox. I love this movie. It's my favorite. This is my second. Maybe that's a hot take. Third favorite Wes Craven movie. Anyway, I really love this one. And at that event, Dee Wallace Stone was there, or Dee Wallace now because she's not Stone anymore. But she was there, so I got her to sign The Hills Have Eyes right there, and I got to have a conversation with her. She's like, Dee Wallace has always been sort of everybody's mom. Like she feels like in E.T., in Cujo,
Critters,
even in The Hills Have Eyes, she's everybody's mom. She only got to be kind of hot and like steamy in The Howling, I guess, kind of.
Was she in was she in Critters? Did she play the mom in Critters? I can't remember.
Don't know. It's been so long since I've seen that movie. But I've always liked Dee Wallace. I think she's great. She's super sweet lady. And she signed my Hills Have Eyes hardbox there. But nice. I agree with you. I think Arrow consistently makes really great, kind of more sleek hardboxes. I love their releases. The problem with Arrow lately has been their IP. They haven't had any really exciting movies in a while.
Yeah, I agree. And because they slowed down production of a lot of their. Did you go out on me?
Well, and they did that. They did that because they were having so many QA problems. So I kind of respect the fact that they did that.
Yeah, they slowed down so that they could ensure quality. Because it was getting kind of hairy there for a while. They were having a lot of issues.
They were having a lot of disc returns or whatever. The Shout disc cases have the reversible labels, though. Not always. Lately, the 4Ks have not been reversible artwork. So.
Yeah, which is a little disappointing because I do like the reversible artwork.
I like the option.
Yeah. All right, guys, let's do it. So I'm going to give away the slipcover one of Texas Chainsaw Massacre and the Steelbook. So we're going to give away the slipcover first. I'm going to go full screen here. All right, guys, to answer this question, the first person I actually see answer this question correctly and spelled correctly wins it. So let's do this one here. What Hollywood sci-fi movie went on to spawn a 10-season-long TV series?
Ooh.
So again, what Hollywood sci-fi movie went on to spawn a 10-season-long TV series? Hey, Scotty, what's going on? Glad you're here. And yes, you are Canadian. Is that a statement or?
Okay, what are you trying to say?
You're just, are you saying you're better than us because you're Canadian? Let's see, Austin. Oh yeah, okay, you already read that. All right, so did you have anything else that you picked up that you want to show while we?
Oh yeah, I got some stuff while we're waiting for an answer. I can show you a few things.
Battlestar Galactica and Zodiac are wrong.
So I don't know if you've heard of this movie. It's called Calvaire.
I have. Let me full screen you there.
This movie, I really like this movie. It's not for the faint of heart. It has been out of print for 15 years. It was only on DVD. I think it was maybe one of those Dimension Extreme titles or whatever. But this is part of the new French extremism that ran from the late 90s to around 2010, something like that.
Okay.
It is a French horror movie about a guy who... It's basically Misery, okay? Except more extreme.
Let me chime in here really quick here. Scotty said, he said I'm Canadian because Canadians can't win the prize. You can win the prize if you want to pay the shipping. That's fine. Was it TikTok that you showed that?
Probably. Because I got really excited when this came in because I've liked this movie for a long time. And this was put out by Yellow Veil, which is a partner label to Vinegar Syndrome. And you can tell because it's got the VS type of slipcover.
Nice.
So I was thrilled. And this is another one that's counting down. If you're interested in some French extremism horror, the numbers are dropping on this one over on the Vinegar Syndrome site.
Definitely go grab it now if you're interested. And let's see here. Steve won. He said Stargate. That is correct.
There you go. There it is.
Head over to my About page and email me there, and we'll get you set up. Thanks, Scotty, for pointing that out because I missed his comment. Gilmore Girls. Yeah, Gilmore Girls. All right, so you won the slipcover of Texas Chainsaw UHD. Next up, we're going to do the Steelbook of the UHD. And that question is... This is probably a really easy one. True or false? None of the robbers get out alive in the 1995 Michael Mann film Heat. And if someone does get out alive, can you name the character and the actor? I got to make it a little bit harder for some people.
I think we know how it ends now, though.
I think everybody knew it anyways.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
All right, so do you know Grindhouse Video? Have you ever ordered from them?
Hold on 1 second. Rico, I'm sorry, man. You already won 2 prizes last time. So I really need to give it to somebody else. I'm sorry, man. Yeah. Sorry, Rico. Let's do this other one here because it's a given away. What actors' films include Kickboxer, Street Fighter, and Universal Soldier?
Oh, man.
That's an easy one. Again, what actors' films include Kickboxer, Street Fighter, and Universal Soldier? That's the question to win the Steelbook.
I think the last time that I streamed with you, I had gotten the Steelbook for Universal Soldier.
Oh, did you? Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because I was like Roland Emmerich's first film, and you were like, no. I'm like, oh, yeah, you're right.
Moon 44, right?
Yep.
Yeah. Oh, boy. Everybody got it. All right, first person I saw was... Hold on, guys. What's Johnny Watching? What's Johnny Watching is the first person I saw on my chat. I did these before, and people cried and screamed because they saw other people give the answer ahead of someone else I chose. But on my side of the chat, What's Johnny's Watching is the first one I saw. So congratulations, What's Johnny Watching? You win the Steelbook to Texas Chainsaw Massacre. Just head over to my About page and email me there, or message me on TikTok or Instagram. You can do that as well. All right, so congratulations to all the winners. And if you didn't win this time, I do these giveaways every now and then. So you have another time to watch this. Hang on one second. If you could take over real quick, I got to check something really quick. Okay.
Sure. All right, so I'll show you guys some other pickups that I want to share. There's an online store that I recommend you check out that is like Diabolic DVD. I was actually about to ask him about this, and it's called Grindhouse Video, and they specialize in boutiques. So you're not going to find your Paramount releases, that kind of thing, but you will find pretty much every boutique. And if you're looking domestically for that TCM box, I don't know if they have it. I know they did take pre-orders for it, so they might still have some. So I would check. With Grindhouse Video to see if they have it. But for me, the great thing is Grindhouse Video has a brick and mortar store, and it's located 3 hours from me. Here, I'm in Nashville. It is in Knoxville, and it's good and bad. It's good that it's within a reasonable distance for me. I guess it's bad that it's so far away, but it's good that it's so far away too, because I don't spend a bunch of money. My friend went down there for a family trip, and while he was there, he popped into Grindhouse Video and was shopping and brought me back this. I guess I'm on a French horror film trip because this is the umbrella release of Martyrs, and I'm holding it upside down.
We both went dark. There we go. Sorry, guys.
Okay, good. I thought we lost you for a second. But yeah, so he picked this up for me from Umbrella.
Nice.
You can get this. Of course, you can import from Umbrella, but they do it for you at Grindhouse Video. And the slip is really, like, I know one of us doesn't care about slips, but that was pretty cool. It's got some spot UV on it. Looks nice. They do have some extras on it. This Martyrs is not a film for the faint of heart, though. It is a very hard movie to watch, but it's a challenge. It's a challenging movie to watch. So if you like to be challenged, it's good.
Yeah. Sorry, guys. I know that some people you may have seen. Some people answer the right question before. What's Johnny watching? But again, that's the first person I saw. So sorry. But you always have now chances to win on other shows. Because I do giveaways here and there. Yeah, like we were saying, Martyrs, really, really heavy movie to watch.
Very heavy.
You have to prepare yourself to watch that one.
You've got to be in a psychologically good place before you ever pop this into your player. If you aren't, don't watch this.
You'll need therapy.
Yeah, you will. You will.
Let's see here. Austin says, is it the remake of Martyrs? Yes, and you do not want to watch the remake.
And it's hot garbage. Yeah, it's terrible.
Awful. Austin, I don't know. He says, I haven't seen Martyrs yet. You know him better than I do. Would you recommend him?
Well, I mean, he watches a lot. Based off our conversations across the show, he watches a lot of stuff. But I'm just going to say, anything you've heard, this is one thing that happens in our community a lot, especially on other platforms where, this movie's so disturbing. What's the most disturbing? Blah, blah, blah. Whatever anybody tells you, they're wrong. It's this one. It's this one. If someone comes at you and says, Serbian film is... No, it's this one. This one is not as disgusting visually as Serbian film, but this one has a balance of visual pain and psychological pain, and that's when movies actually work for me, is if they have a psychological component to go along with what you actually see. And I'm just telling you, it is not for the faint of heart. So
and like you mentioned, people think Suburban film is the most horrific movie, but the thing is, like you said, visually it is, but as a story, I don't know if it really is, because Martyrs, everything, the story, the whole theme of what's happening during the film, everything in that, the way it's directed, the way it's performed, the way it's written, what the movie's about, the atmosphere of the movie, everything is just very...
And this might be the artwork
hard.
That you've seen. This is the inside. Yeah, that's the classic artwork right there.
Yeah. I'm not sure if that's on streaming anywhere, but...
That was not nudity, by the way.
I wasn't worried. Let's see here. Jason Morbies. Hey, thanks for joining us tonight. Says Grindhouse Video is excellent unless you get a broken case or box. Then you have to pay. Oh man, you got to pay to ship it back. That's not right. That's
yeah.
dirty.
The only place I've ever ordered from that was good about boxes, though, was when I ordered something from Diabolic. it came broken. They actually just sent me another case.
Yeah. That's one of the reasons why Diabolic's probably like my go-to place. If I don't order from Best Buy or Amazon, especially if I import, Diabolic's really my go-to place.
I don't know if you heard, but I was telling them that Grindhouse Video moved their brick and mortar store in 3 hours from me.
Oh, really?
Yeah. My friend went and brought that back to me. I'm not going there until I have a nice stockpile of money, so I can go and.
Well, the gas alone will kill you.
Well, I need another reason to go. I need to be going for work or something, and then it's going to be bad because they have all the boutique stuff, all of it.
Yeah. I try to get in with Grindhouse on getting some stuff to review. I'm hoping it works out because I'm still talking to them. What's Johnny watching says he's going to watch Martyrs and asks if it's on streaming. I don't believe it is on streaming.
No, it's not.
Orbit DVD is really good too. Julian says
yes. Agree. Orbit is great.
Okay, I've never ordered from Orbit, so I can't say.
Yeah. Orbit is the same as Diabolic.
Okay.
They carry a lot of import stuff, and I've ordered 2 or 3 times from them, and it was great all 3 times. Like,
is the shipping? Is it reasonable?
It's good. Yeah, it's right around the same. They have a flat fee. It's usually $5 or $8 or something like that. Yeah.
Nice. Mm-hmm. Did you have anything else you wanted to show? Or
I got one more thing I picked up at the show yesterday, and maybe you guys can tell me if it's good because this was a blind buy.
I can't
Deadly
read
Games.
What it is. Oh, Deadly Games.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've seen that.
Dial Code Santa. I just cold bought this at a booth.
That is a badass cover, by the way.
Oh, but this my slip cover.
I said if it's good artwork.
And that's the original artwork.
I'm not going to take it and dump it in and burn it or dump it in the garbage.
All I know about this is it's Home Alone for grown-ups. That's all I know. It's a kid with crazy traps, except it gets more brutal and violent than Home Alone.
It's a great movie. First time I saw it was on Joe Bob's Last Drive-In. They showed it on one of the Christmas specials. Great movie, violent, but there's actually I was surprised there's actually a story to it as well. So it's good. It's real good.
Cool. I'm excited then because it was $30, and I thought $30 is not bad considering, like I said, I can go on Facebook Marketplace and find just the slipcover for $30. So I'm like, all right, let's get it. Let's try it. That's it. That's all I got.
John Pimble's got a good says Dial Code Santa, a fine holiday edition. Always watch with rare exports. I agree.
Awesome.
I agree.
All right.
Yeah, it's great. Jason says I buy between Orbit and Grindhouse. I also like that I don't get charged tax to ship here to my state. That's great. I mean, I'm not sure if Diabolic charges tax either. I'm not sure, but
I don't think they did. I don't think so.
I don't think so. Well, if you're wrapped up, I'll just run through what I recently got, and this is something that MPI worked with Candlelight and also Netflix to get this out on physical media, because originally it wasn't going to get a physical release. And so they worked together, made a deal, and they put this out. And I've been waiting for this ever since its release date, which was almost a month ago, and they finally sent it to me to review. All Quiet on the Western Front. And this is... Where's my remote so I can zoom in a little bit here? So this is a coordinated effort from all 3 studios. Netflix, Candlelight, who produced the film in Germany, and then MPI, who they released it here domestically. So this is a digital book, or media book, whatever you want to call it. This has interviews with the director and the production team, and it's really cool digital book because it talks about... the director talks about what he wanted to do differently instead of just a normal remake, and how he wanted to bring the filmmaking and the look up to date. And I don't know if you've watched this on Netflix or not.
I haven't watched it. Mm-mm.
Don't watch it on Netflix. Don't watch it on Netflix. Only watch it on the physical UHD. And I don't have to explain to you why, but
yeah,
this is amazing transfer. Amazing. I mean, absolutely gorgeous cinematography. It deserved the Oscar win. I mean, this is highly, highly, highly recommended. I'm actually going to be doing a comparison because I talked to Netflix and I was able to get permission to grab some screenshots from the streaming. So I'm going to compare it between their streaming and this UHD.
Whoa,
and,
that's pretty amazing that they would be willing to be cool with that, because it's definitely going to show the weaknesses of streaming.
Yeah, I talked to MPI about it. That might be why it took me a month to get this. But yeah, I was very happy. So I'm going to start working on this soon. And it's going to be a great video because I'm sure you do too. You have so many people asking you. Streaming 4K UHD is a really much of a difference. And so yeah, this is going to be a good video for that, to answer that question. I also picked this up, the Maltese Falcon on 4K.
Oh, I bet that's going to be, I would wager that's going to be a good 4K.
Yeah, I've heard it's good, but I've heard that there's a little bit of DNR in it, making
that's
some
a shame.
I guess they just did it to smooth out the a couple rough areas. But other than that, I've heard it's a fantastic transfer.
Apparently, they're saying in the chat that there is a standard version of All Quiet out at Best Buy.
Yeah, I think it just came out today. In fact, it's a standard case version. But if you can pick up the digital book, it's because the information that the director talks about with the making of this film is really interesting, and I think it's only like a couple bucks more than the standard edition. Let's see here, and then this is an older movie that came out from Lionsgate that I've been wanting, and Best Buy actually had it. Ran. Akira Kurosawa's Ran.
Okay. You've seen this movie, right?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
I love what Lionsgate. Lionsgate with their slip covers. They always do something really cool with it. Look at that artwork. It's beautiful. Beautiful artwork.
Yeah, that's a banger of a presentation.
And
it's almost like having a good slipcover. Just saying.
this I would keep. What's cool about this too is that Lionsgate, they always do it where they always have visible areas in the slip to matches, and so the eyes on here that are red matches the red eye openings on the slip. So it's cool. I'm keeping this one.
I like those clear covers are really great for the steelbooks too, because steelbooks on a shelf together, they scratch each other, rub together like the steelbooks do. See, I actually have mine in little turkey bags because I don't want them to get all scratched up just because they're on a shelf beside each other.
Yeah, that's true. The stuff like this I keep up on a shelf that my niece and nephew can't reach because that's the kind of slipcover I would keep. But I did a review on the 4K because I actually purchased it from Studio Canal when it first came out, before it came out domestically, and it was before I was doing the side-by-side comparisons, so I just did a random review. But yeah, man, it's beautiful transfer.
That's one of those things where I don't understand what's going on with Criterion. How is this not being put out by Criterion? Well,
what I'm curious too is The Last Emperor. It was released by who was it? Was it Studio Canal? No, it wasn't Studio Canal. It was released by Arrow UK released UHD. Oh, there we go. That's better. Arrow released a UHD of The Last Emperor, and it's gorgeous. And I recently found out that the Criterion that was 2008 or something has the wrong aspect ratio. It's at 2.00 instead of 239.
Oh, crap.
The color grading, I found out doing research, is all wrong. It's not appropriate. And in fact, the director didn't want to approve Criterion's transfer of it at the time. So, but he approved Arrow Video's newest UHD and their 4K transfer, and said that everything is how it's supposed to look on that Arrow release, and it's gorgeous. It's beautiful. So I'm curious if Criterion will end out releasing a UHD as well. I don't know.
That's fascinating. Because they're usually the ones I trust when it comes to getting things like aspect ratio and color timing correct. But
yeah, it's weird. Yeah, I don't know. But and lastly, I got picked up from Arrow Video, and that is Black Sunday. So this is one of those where I was kind of hesitant on buying it first because I'm like, is this going to get a 4K? Because it's just an HD transfer that was done last year. So I don't know why they didn't do a 4K on it. Maybe licensing. I don't know. But I picked it up. This is a great movie. You guys haven't seen it. John Frankenheimer directs it. I mean, Robert Shaw, Bruce Dern, John Frankenheimer. What could possibly go wrong? Yeah,
you can't go wrong.
Yeah. Well, that's all the newer pickups that I got. Yeah, I mean, it's been. Let's run through the comments real quick before we end the show here. There's a thing here. Sorry, guys, running through the comments here. Okay, so Austin says streaming is the future.
Yeah,
not really.
Thank you, Anthony Chobot does pop culture. Appreciate that. He said we're awesome.
Oh, okay. I didn't see that yet. Thanks, Anthony. Scotty, my friend Scotty, says, I look forward to your Maltese review. I look forward to it too. One thing that I've heard about Maltese, and what was the other one that just came out? What was it? I can't remember. There was another title that came out. There was an older title like Maltese Falcon. Sorry. Cool Hand Luke. I'm hearing that Maltese Falcon and Cool Hand Luke, the Blu-rays that are included with it aren't the new transfer. They're the old 2008 transfers.
Oh, wow.
Which I don't understand why they don't include the new transfer on the Blu-ray. I mean, you got it right there. It doesn't make sense.
Well, you know what I wonder? Because these big studios are on the way to not including the Blu-ray in the 4K package anymore.
That's true.
If they're just emptying out their reserves of discs, and that's the only reason they're even in there to begin with.
Yeah, that's true. Paramount's already doing that. A lot of their newer releases don't have the Blu-ray.
It's fine with me. Make the prices a little cheaper though if you're going to take the Blu-ray out. I don't really need the Blu-ray, but
I'm never going to use it.
Yeah, so make it $3 or $4 or $5 cheaper, and take the disc out. That's fine with me. I see my friend Mid-Level Media complains about it because he likes to be able to take the Blu-rays like into the car or on trips or whatever, and leave the nice 4K disc at home. And I guess I can see that a little bit.
Yeah, I have a couple friends that they're concerned if they go on vacation or go to a relative's house that doesn't have 4K player. So yeah, I mean that's one reason why to keep.
But my thing about that is if you're just using it for travel or whatever, then just claim that digital code and use that for travel. That's the only reason I don't give away more digital codes, because I do keep them for travel.
That's true.
And if they die, if the company dies, Movies Anywhere, whatever goes down the tubes like the last company, I wasn't making purchases based on those digital codes, so I won't cry too much.
Yeah,
they're just a convenience.
Let's see here. What Johnny's watching? Nobody can top Lionsgate when it comes to steelbooks. I agree. Their artwork is fantastic, and their see-through slips are actually useful. There's a reason why they have them.
Yep.
Let's see here. Moo says, "How much you want for that slip?"
Yeah, let me make sure you have my address. No more throwing away slips. You can throw them in a box and send them to me.
$100.
Damn, that's a good slip.
Let's see here. Anthony says, "You guys are awesome. Thanks, man. I appreciate that." And thanks for joining us.
Austin said that he hates it when they get the aspect ratio wrong. Then I'm going to give you one piece of advice. Don't watch stuff on Tubi because they do it all the time.
Tubi's awful.
I understand the convenience of Tubi because it's free and it has commercials, but they don't do a good job with their transfers a lot of times. I don't know if that's a Tubi thing. Now, there's one documentary that looks pretty good on Tubi. That one you should watch, but everything else,
I always say
go watch Family Affair on Tubi. It's free.
I always your plug there. I always say, well, why do you think it's free? I mean, they're not they aren't paying for high quality stuff, and you're not paying at all for high quality stuff. So, but then again, I've seen on Amazon too where they have the wrong aspect ratio.
Yeah, and the thing is, my experience with Tubi is I did have to provide them with the materials, and I know my stuff is on point.
Yeah, unless they mess with it, but
yeah, and it doesn't appear that they've messed with it, but who knows? Because I saw the biggest offender I saw was when they had Raw totally in the wrong aspect ratio, and it matters for that movie.
Wow. Yeah, I have a friend who made a film a few years ago, and he was finally able to get it on Amazon Prime, and he provided a little material, but they put the right information, but I think they put the wrong poster artwork, and when you press watch trailer, it's like for some horror movie instead of his movie.
Oh man!
So
I'd be so mad.
He was
so mad.
He was mad. He's trying to work that out, trying to get that sorted out. Moose says Bruce Dern said it's one he doesn't recommend anymore since it's controversial. Oh, Black Sunday. I don't know. This movie's 50 years old. I mean, isn't everything back then controversial now?
Right.
John Pimble says, hitting up my copy of Flashdance when this is over. Got mine today. Awesome, man. You got to let me know what you think of it. Let's see here. Rebel Without a Cause. Corey Wade. Yeah. Oh, hey, Corey. Thanks for joining the stream tonight. Rebel Without a Cause I'm getting next week. I wasn't able to get it from a studio, so I have to pay for it out of pocket. But I'm hearing that the 2008, I think, Blu-rays were the wrong color grading. All the wrong color grading, and they brought it back to the original color grading. The one I can't wait for, though, is East of Eden. That's my favorite James Dean film. I love East of Eden. See here, John Doe says, good night, man. I'm sure that was a while ago, but good night.
Probably.
Thanks for joining us. Yeah. All right, guys. Okay, you already read that one about Austin with the aspect ratios. Yeah. All right, guys. Well, I think we're going to go ahead and wrap this up. Thanks so much, Stephen, for joining us. And tell the fine folks out there where they can find you at.
Oh, thank you so much. It's always fun to come in and chat with you because we get a little more hardcore about technical stuff over here than a lot of other channels, and that's fun. So the easiest thing I can tell you to do is please hit me at OTS Movies. It's the same on YouTube. It's the same on Letterboxd and on TikTok. Now I post daily on TikTok. I post a couple of times a week on YouTube, and then Letterboxd every time I go to the movies, which I'm seeing 150 movies in the theater this year. So there's going to be a lot of posts over there.
So how's that going?
It was going well. It was going well. And I was only slightly behind, which I anticipate being behind for about half the year. When the summer hits, there's so many things coming up. That's when I'm going to kind of make it. And then October, I'll also make up the difference. But there have been a lot of activities going on in Nashville that my filming services have been required of me, so I haven't been able to see as much. And then I'm actually getting ready to leave on a cruise for a week.
Oh,
this coming weekend. So I'm a little behind, but I'm going to catch up. I need to see the Mario movie. I need to see Air. So I'll see all that stuff the minute I get back.
I was going to say that this weekend is almost like a summer weekend, wall to wall stuff. You got Dungeons and Dragons, Super Mario Brothers, Air. I'm seeing tomorrow night. Can't wait to see that.
D&D is great. I didn't expect D&D to be a good movie, but it was good. I really liked it.
Yeah, I gotta see that. Yeah, guys. And Steven also on TikTok. He goes live sometimes with some other friends that are physical media, that are into physical media. They have some chats, and it's a real fun time. So go check him out on TikTok. And you guys know where to find me at Paul_TwinFlix on Instagram. I have a TikTok as well. There, I actually post cut up versions of my comparison reviews that I post full length here on YouTube. And so if you want to see some early comparison work before it's released on YouTube, you can follow me on TikTok. Which is,
I always feel like those are a commercial. Like I see that clip and I'm like, oh, I need to go over to YouTube.
Yeah, I try to make it that way.
Yeah, it works.
Yeah. All right, guys. Let's see. All right, Austin. Last comment here. Two more comments, and then we'll end it. This is my first time on your stream, and I got to say I really enjoyed it. I like the technical aspect of discussing films, and you knock it out of the park. Oh, thanks, man. That's what we like to do here.
Austin is on my streams and stuff pretty regular. Austin, I will tell you, this channel right here is the best place for comparisons of anybody doing it. He does them legit here.
Yeah, I mean, and unlike other people that I have found out actually pull it from streaming, they actually pirate it, or they grab the Blu-ray and just boost the colors. I do absolutely zero manipulation. I pull them directly, natively from the UHD disc and the Blu-ray. I have the software to do that, and yeah, so subscribe.
Good stuff.
All right, guys. Thanks so much, What's Johnny Watching, for your comment there. Like Steven said, we talk about a lot of technical stuff, and we kind of go deep into it, but that's what we love doing here. And guys, thanks so much for joining us on the streaming. Thanks, Steven, again for joining me tonight. And as always, guys, keep physical media alive.